Hi guys, everyone. Welcome to RossonARI TV. We're here with Roy and me, Laert, to talk about these rumors about the Paul and the possibility for AC Milan to sign the player as our next number 10. So, what do you think, Roy? What do you heard about these rumors? What is your opinion? Let me know a bit.
Well, Dybala is an excellent profile, okay, because he is definitely one of the most talked about playmakers in the Serie A, a playmaker that every year has had a very positive season. And I think for the kind of playmaker that Pioli likes, Dybala is perfect, because Dybala is the kind of player that will defend with quality and quantity and attack with quality and quantity. So he's a complete kind of midfielder, and I think he'd be a perfect profile for Milan.
I'm not totally agreeing with you on this point, in my opinion. First of all, there is some issues about the Paul deal. What I heard about reports and everything, that first of all, the price I think is crazy. 40 million is not worth it for the player. We need to remember that he's the number 10 of a team, Udinese, that finished 14th in Serie A. They scored just 42 goals. Spezia, for example, scored 10 goals more than Udinese, and they are just 1 point less than Udinese. So we are thinking to buy the number 10 of a team that finished 14th in Serie A with 42 goals and a counter-attacking football. So I'm not sure if 40 million is the right price. I think the player is a high-quality player. I'm sure he can be a great option for AC Milan, but I don't see him. I don't think AC Milan should pay 40 million for him. I don't think AC Milan should give. For example, I heard the whole idea of AC Milan is to give Hague and pay 20-25 million. I think it's crazy. I wouldn't do this.
I agree with you there. The 40 million price is exaggerated. I do think that Hague could be a good solution as an exchange player. Now, I think that they would have to negotiate to go a little bit lower. But to me, the solution seems to make sense. Now, let's see whether or not it happens or not. It also depends on Calhanogu, because Calhanogu, right now, according to reports, he seems to be dealing with Liverpool, and he's taking his time with Milan. It doesn't seem Milan is treating the Calhanogu contract the way they treated the Donnarumma contract. It seems as if there's still a little bit more room for negotiation there. But if Calhanogu goes out, I mean, a player similar to him, who else is there?
Well, going back to Calhanogu, I would say that probably he's waiting to play the Euros, create some hype around him. Maybe Turkey does better, and he can sign a great deal with someone which is not AC Milan. I don't think we're going to sign him. And moving from Calhanogu to the Paul, I don't see a big improvement. I still see a player that has quality, but he's a good player for counter-attacking football. We're not going to unlock defenses like Udinese or Cagliari with the Paul. We need a high-quality number 10. We need someone that knows how to give the final pass. He has ideas, dribbling, and all these things. I don't think the Paul is the right profile. I think he's 27 years old, paying the value, because at the end you're gonna go on balance. You're gonna put 40 million, the value of that player. So you need to make sure he's really valuable. And I don't think he's the right player. And Hague, I think Hague has a potential that is incredible in my opinion. And he's 21 years old.
Yeah.
So, and we have other issues to deal with. Is Krunic, Castillejo, Romagnoli. I mean, adding another player that you are not sure how he's going to perform, I think is a big risk.
Right. I mean, yeah, I agree with you that a more exciting player would be more exciting, but it's really going by what Pioli wants and how he sees football. It seems to me, according to what I'm reading, according to what Pioli wants, he wants an attacking midfielder that can double up as a defender. And from what I've seen, the latest report is that the creativity they're looking for is going to come mostly from the right. It could be Berardi. That was the last thing that I heard, that Pioli saying that is a top objective of him. Now, the three hot names I'm hearing are De Paul, Berardi, and Vlahovic. Like, this is what Pioli wants, right? Now, whether or not these are the right players, I don't know. I think Berardi is an excellent choice. Vlahovic, that's who Pioli wants. That wouldn't be my first choice. De Paul, for what Pioli wants, to me seems like the only player I can think of that plays both defensive and offensive. Now, if I were to choose, I would go your way, and I would choose a more offensive player, a more creative player. So that's the way I'm looking at it right now.
Going back to Berardi, I think you're right. Berardi, on that point, is the right player for AC Milan because, first of all, is a real improvement on Castillejo.
Yeah.
I really believe Castillejo is not good enough, and Berardi can bring 10, 12 goals on that side. And he plays in a team that holds the ball. Sassuolo holds the ball, plays in the same formation we play, with two holding midfielders and wings on the right and left. And another thing about Sassuolo, they always try to have a creative game, and they don't go for the counter-attacking, which is what we want to do at the end. So Berardi, I think, is a great option, and he's younger. I think he's 2 years younger or 1 year younger than De Paul, and it costs less. Berardi value is around 20, 25 million. So, in my opinion, the De Paul move is completely crazy. I think it's crazy to pay 40 million a Udinese player, a team that finished 15th in Serie A, with 42 goals. The number 10 of a team that has done 42 goals cannot be valued 40 million, man. We cannot give money like the first person who has 40 million will give the money. Vlahovic, the value is 30 million, which can make sense if you can guarantee 20 goals. And still, I still don't think Vlahovic 30 million is still a risk. You never know. He had a great season. I don't know if he's going to have another one. So I don't think it's the right profile. I still believe if Udinese wants to do this deal for, let's say, 30 million or 25 million, if they really want to do this deal with us, I would see more an option like, okay, give me a loan, and I'll pay you at the end of the season if I like it. If you really believe his value is 30 million.
Yeah, those are possibilities that they might do. Those are possibilities they might do. But it really all depends on Calhanogu because, again, this comes down to what Pioli wants, really. He decides at the end of the day, the technical aspect. And one of the reasons why they haven't yet finalized or have said anything conclusive about Calhanogu is because Pioli likes Calhanogu a lot. He likes this player. So it really depends on what happens with him. And if he doesn't sign, then, like an option to buy after a loan for these kind of players like De Paul, yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me.
I mean,
why not?
Yeah, still, again, man, I don't want to come back. I don't want to be in a situation like Tonali situation. We paid him 35 million. And he's not performing in the way he was performing with Brescia because Brescia is another type of game, is another situation. And I'm happy to do that deal because it's not a risk. He's a 21 years old guy, and you can play him for 5 years and sell him again 20 million and still have a profit with that. But with De Paul, if you buy him 40 million or 30 million, and he's not performing, and he's giving you the same value Calhanogu is giving to you, or another average player we already have, you're stuck with a guy that is going to earn 3 million a year. He's going to be 31 when you're going to get rid of him, and he's not going to do anything with that guy. So I don't think it's the right deal. I would risk a player like De Paul if he's 21, 22, 23, something like that. I will risk him. But I'm not going to risk something like that for a 27 years old that's never played in Champions League. There's always been playing with Udinese. That's done average seasons every time. If you are a great player in an average team, there is something I don't trust in that. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see De Paul from a technical aspect, I think that he would adapt well in Milan, and he would be a solid player. Would he be one of these superstar kind of players? That is a possibility, maybe, maybe not. But I think his average technical ability is good, and he would be solid for AC Milan. So that's the way I feel about it. If they get it done, I'd be happy with the ball.
I have a question for you. Do you think Pioli is better than Dybala?
No. Well, Dybala wouldn't do the same thing because really, Laert, it comes down to what Pioli wants. Now, Dybala can't do what Paul does or what Calhanogu does, meaning Dybala is not going to go defend and hustle and sweat for the team. Dybala is a player that you put up front. He creates magic for you, and that's how you use him. But yeah, I mean, if you tell me would I choose Dybala rather than Paul, of course I'm going to say Dybala every single day. I mean, those are the players that make us dream. Those are the players that we want to see at Milan. So if I were to choose, I would obviously invest in someone like Dybala.
Because Dybala value is 30 million, man. Because his contract is going to expire in a year. So with 30 million, you can get Dybala. And you can get Dybala, seriously, even with less if you give Romagnoli or if you put a deal that Juventus is interested in. Of course, you need to see if Juventus wants to get rid of Dybala. But I think with 40 million, you can buy a top player on that position. Not a bad like Paul.
Yes, and there's a lot of talk about exchanges with Juventus. Maybe even this deal with Donnarumma to Juventus might end up meaning ulterior things, because I think that there is a window for Dybala. I feel there is a window for Dybala, and who knows what the market will bring. The market always brings magic moments.
Anyway,
I see that as a possibility. No, I see that as a possibility.
We're gonna talk about Dybala in another video for sure when things getting a bit more real. But yeah, the poll I see for you is a yes, for me is a no. To be fair, for me is a no because I look at I'm rationalizing more. I know there is an hype around the player, FIFA, Twitter, everyone is talking about this player, but no one is looking actually the reality, where he plays, what type of game he's playing at the moment with Udinese. And I understand why Atletico wants to buy him, because Atletico plays like Udinese, just with better players. They defend and they go on a counter-attack. So they want a player like Paul, and they're offering 20 million plus another player to exchange. But that's the problem. If Atletico is offering that money, and Atletico is a rich club, they buy players for 70 million, for 60 million, some players for 80 million, they sign. They have a high salary cap as well. So if they are looking for that player and they're willing to pay that amount of money, it means we're overpaying the Paul. And it's not that the value. And in England as well, they want to pay it for that price. That means it's overpaying. So we need to be careful with DePaul. That's what I'm saying. That's it. Well, you close it, Roy. Say the last things and close the video.
Yes. Well, look, I'm pretty excited about the transfer market. Well, actually, I want to say this. If I imagine a Milan with, Magnini as a goalkeeper, then the four defenders, Calabria, Chiar, Somori, Teo Hernandez, the two pivots, Benacer, Kessi, a DePaul in the middle, a Rebic over here on the left, a Berardi here on the right, and up top you have Ibrahimovic and maybe a Vlahovic, because this is who I'm talking about, the players Pioli wants. I mean, that's a solid team, if you ask me.
Still not convinced, man. Still not convinced.
All right. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody for joining. Let us know what you think. If you think DePaul is the right choice and if he would be the perfect player for AC Milan, leave that in the comments, and please like, share, subscribe. See you next time. Ciao.
Ciao, Forza Milan.